Yo, guys, what is up? Eric Zilla here with another video of my thoughts. And today we have a very interesting sort of topic that we're going to be discussing. What makes a kaiju movie? Now, what really made me want to make this video was a post that a good friend of mine, DylloFello, which is a person you should go follow on Instagram. Yeah, you're welcome, Dillo. Anyway, so this is what he posted here. I would consider any fictional creature in media as a kaiju. The Indominus Rex, Xenomorph, Groboids, and many other fictional monsters would be kaijus in my book. But declaring if a movie as a kaiju movie is a bit of a muddy discussion. So I want to know what makes a kaiju movie a kaiju movie? Well, that is a very interesting question, and one question that my good old friend DylloFello has had a little bit of trouble understanding in a way. Because you see, what considers a kaiju really just depends on whether on these or three of these sort of things that may consider a kaiju film. One, either it mentions the word kaiju and portrays it in a way that shows that there's monsters in it, and then therefore kaiju, or 1, 2, I guess, or giving homage or referencing kaiju related things in the kaiju film. And I actually have a couple of examples of that. Such example being that the first example, well, if it has the word kaiju in it. Well, for that one example, we'll look at Pacific Rim. Now, Pacific Rim, for many people who have probably seen it by now, is pretty much a whole homage to the tokusatsu genre in general, pretty much. And this film is considered a kaiju film for the fact that, for one, it has strange giant monsters. And two, well, it obviously uses the word kaiju in the film. And so it pretty much just sums it up right there. Pacific Rim and even Pacific Rim Uprising are absolutely considered kaiju films. Even though, according to Guillermo del Toro, he didn't even make this film to be considered a kaiju film. But unfortunately, he, I guess, didn't really get the whole thing. So, yeah, that's one example of how if they use the word kaiju in the film, then yes, that film is a kaiju film. And Pacific Rim, well, it's obviously a kaiju film. A very badass kaiju film at best. That could also be considered a kaiju film is Rampage the movie. Well, for the next example, pretty much. Reference and homages. This film pays a lot of homages to pretty much any other kaiju film in Japan, pretty much. Like, for example, for one obvious one, the Ralph, right here, as you can see in the clip, he uses the ability that Varen uses, when which it has that sort of ability, and when which it could glide and everything like that. And just for the fact that many of the monsters depicted in this film are very strange and very large. Therefore, Rampage the movie could also be considered a kaiju film. A very awesome kaiju film. Go enjoy Rampage. Back in the day, many people whenever they see practical effects and everything else like that, they automatically say it's a kaiju film. And that is absolutely true. For example, Zarkor the Invaders can be considered a kaiju film, mainly for its practical effects. Also, another American kaiju flick, Craw the Sea Monster, which can also be considered a kaiju film, mainly for its practical effects as well. Those are pretty much what I see as a kaiju in a way, and many people may see them as the same. But now let's take a look at what DylloFello sees as a kaiju. And yeah, Jurassic Park as a whole, guys. I've heard many people ask even this question as well. Is Jurassic Park a kaiju films? Absolutely not. They are completely separated from all of that. Um, no, Jurassic Park is not considered a kaiju film. Not in the slightest. I'm sorry, it is not a kaiju film. But perhaps, though, but the hybrids, Indominus Rex and the Indoraptor, are can be considered that in a way. Because, I mean, for one thing, they don't exist. They were made by mankind, pretty much. And in the end, they sort of escape, and then in a way that's sort of mankind's mistake of creating, monsters. And in a way, Indominus Rex and the Indoraptor can somewhat be considered that. But when it comes to the Jurassic Park dinosaurs, I would kind of see them more or less as just regular monsters. Because when you really think about it, Jurassic Park somewhat takes place in the real world. And when you look at science nowadays, science has pretty much improved a lot when it comes to dinosaurs and stuff like that. And when you look at the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, that's something you normally don't really see in real life. Because science has really just improved. And when you look at these dinosaurs, you just look at them and just like, hey, they're dinosaurs. Like, you don't even think of the science aspect of these dinosaurs. And so, yeah, in a way, I would consider the Jurassic Park dinosaurs as more or less like monsters. But dinosaurs first, monsters last. Now for the xenomorph. Now the xenomorph, well, I'm not really sure, really. Xenomorph and the Groboids, whatever, those worms from Tremor, those two can somewhat, in a way, but not really. They sort of sit in that little area of whether or not they're monsters or kaiju. But for the alien, I would mainly consider them as kaijin. Kaijin being strange humanoids. And that's for the xenomorph, I could put them in that. But for the Groboids, I don't know. They sort of sit in that little area, but they're monsters nonetheless. These three monsters right here that you see on the screen right now, they're monsters. Nothing more, nothing less. The hybrids are monsters from Jurassic Park. The Jurassic Park dinosaurs, the dinosaurs, but also in a way sort of monsters in a way. But in a way, like, that's pretty much it. For my final thoughts, pretty much, it really just comes down to whether, for one, they mention the word kaiju and or pretty much reference and pay homage to kaiju films. Back a long time ago, many people would see, like, if they have practical effects, automatically a kaiju film. But time has changed a lot since then. And now the monsters that they use practical effects from America are just considered, just plain old monster movies. And nowadays, as long as if someone puts the word kaiju in the film and they use the word kaiju to describe a giant monster, they're kaiju. If the film pays homage or references anything related to the kaiju movies, like Ralph flying around like Varen, then yeah, that's considered a kaiju film too. And just for like the sheer size and strangeness of these monsters, yeah, those are automatically confirmed as kaiju pretty much. And for the Jurassic Park, not a kaiju film. The xenomorph, the Tremors, the worms from Tremors, well, they're sort of in that little area. But when it comes down to it, don't really just assume everything is a kaiju film. Like, that's sort of, again, like in what DylloFello says, it's sort of a muddy discussion. It's sort of a shitty sort of claim to say, but again, this is my sort of way of thinking of what I think of what kaiju films are. Many people have their own way of thinking that. But if someone out there considers Jurassic Park a kaiju film, I'm just gonna consider you a retarded brain dead child, because that's pretty much what you are if you really just consider that. Maybe the hybrids, yeah, but all the dinosaurs, yeah, I'm gonna consider you a retarded brain dead child. But anyway, yeah, that's my final thoughts right there, guys. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this video. Again, follow DylloFello on Instagram. He's actually a pretty cool dude and stuff like that. Just follow him. He has some pretty interesting posts. And yeah, again, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And yeah, sayonara, guys.